I will say this. This is our country. I mean black and Latino people, I mean everybody. This is our country. You know why? Because we built this shit. Because somebody else may have stolen us from a place, and I'm speaking as an individual who is categorized as Latino, porque yo hablo español perfectamente, but also has African ancestry in him as well. The first person to die in the Revolutionary War was a black man named Crispus Attucks. He was the first brother to take a bullet for America. Now, when the Declaration of Independence was signed, and it said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Imagine what America would have been, she could have been, if this had been honestly a place where what they said it was on paper was what it really was. Where people were looked at for the content of their character and not the color of their skin. But America was violated and betrayed from that perspective on. Is this country built on a legacy of genocide and slavery? When you say that, that offends conservatives. But look at the facts. Would you have this land if you didn't genocide the Native Americans on it? No, you wouldn't have this land at all, because they'd still be living here, and you'd have to assimilate to some more humanized customs rather than this corporate feudalism that we live in now. Would you be at the same place that you are now if you didn't have hundreds of years of slavery and labor that you didn't have to pay for in any way, shape, or form in order to make this country what it is today? Oh, by the way, and I love the excuse, Vlad, when people say, oh, well, the slave masters had to feed and clothe their slaves. It wasn't like that. Oh, you mean that the slave masters themselves sewed those clothes together for them slaves? Oh, no, you mean the slave masters made other slaves make clothes for their slaves. You mean the slave masters made the slaves pick fruit and cotton that they were then going to use to say, I'm going to make my own clothes and I'm going to pick my own food to feed myself with slave labor. I mean, I think that that's the idea that I'm discussing now, Vlad, that people are just so out to lunch about the reality and the history of what, you know, has transpired in this country. But most certainly, it is our country. We have bled for it. You know, we're owed a stake of this country. It's not like you can just take us, make us build this country, and throw us back to Africa. Also, it's interesting because when you think about what's going on in Africa right now, we just had a genocide almost a decade ago in Rwanda. You know, does that make it a better place? Is that the black man's place to be somewhere where he's going to be killed over sectarian violence or the cultural differences between the Hutu and the Tutsi? I think that, you know, like I said, I can't judge his statement because I don't know where it was coming from. I don't know what else was said in context with it, but this is our country. We won't abandon it to the racists and the fascists. You don't just get this whole thing. No, it's the same thing with Mexico and the way they stole the Southwest from all those indigenous people, and they're angry. One group of illegal immigrants from Europe is angry at people who have lived here for thousands of years for being here. You dipped America in the guacamole, and you're not going to get it off you. You're just going to have to accept that we're part of this, and that we are just as American as you are. You know what I mean? When you racially profile us in Arizona, you're wrong because you're saying that Americans look white. They couldn't possibly look Latino. They probably couldn't possibly look like a day laborer, when in reality, that person was an American 200 years ago when you were still a German, when you were still an Italian, when you were still a Belgian, 300 years ago when you were still Irish, when you were still Scottish. That person was an American. So therefore, it says to me, we're not going to abandon this country because the laws that other people have set up are treating us unfairly. If that's the case, we're going to stay here and fight for what's ours, which is the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Dr. Martin Luther King said it best. I just want you to make it what you said it was on paper. And I won't abandon her. I won't give her up to the people that want to control people's minds. I won't give her up to people that want to spy on us. I won't give her up to people that want to impose laws where they say that they pretend to value a culture of life and think that abortion is murder, but they don't mind bombing, you know, innocent people that haven't done anything to anyone in Afghanistan or Iraq. into oblivion, and they don't seem to mind that because they don't think that their lives are as important as this. I won't give this country up to those religious fanatics. I won't give this country up to fake Christians who clap their hands when Muslim children die and then say that some child who they probably wouldn't care about if it was born shouldn't be killed in its mother's womb. I think these things are hypocritical.
You're in business with Def Jam and you're helping them sell records. Universal, you're helping them sell records. So what exactly is it for sale, Kanye? I don't get it. I'm confused. Don't be, fake revolutionary for profit.
I enjoyed it. It was awesome. I wish I would have been a part of it.
Alright, so do you enjoy the Stevie sex tape?
It was pretty alright. I had fun watching it.